Okay, today we're going to talk about fads. Fads are bad. Bad diets. How many of them are out there? They can't all be correct. They can all have a piece of what's correct, but they can't all be correct. You got the blood type diet, you got the paleo diet, you got the Weston Price diet, you have the raw vegan, or your lacto vegan, or your lacto ovo vegetarian. I was vegetarian for about 5 years. And then I almost died of protein and sodium deficiency and hyperkalemia, which is high potassium levels. Another thing, alkaline, being too alkaline, bull crap, or not being alkaline enough, bull crap. Being too alkaline can kill you. Back when I first started doing consultations, about half the people who came to me were vegetarians who were deficient in protein and sodium chloride, salt. They were so deficient in chloride from their alkalinity and their high potassium levels that they literally couldn't produce stomach acid anymore. It's bad. It's a bad thing. We have canine teeth and an acid stomach that produces pepsin and pepsidogens for digesting proteins. We have a pancreas that produces trypsins and chymotrypsins for digesting proteins. The only complete protein source that is vegetarian is quinoa. Obviously, we were not meant to eat a vegetarian diet. Every meat has a complete amino acid profile. Only one vegetarian source does, that's quinoa. Quinoa didn't grow all over the world. Quinoa grows only in a few parts of the world. Now it's everywhere, but back in indigenous cultures, it only grew in a few parts of the world, and not everybody in the world had access to quinoa. The only diet that I found that I could say I would really subscribe to is not a diet at all, but rather health information, is Weston A. Price Foundation's. He doesn't advocate vegetarianism or meatitarianism. Vegetarians think there's meat. There's no one who's a meatitarian. It's ridiculous. Except for the Atkins diet people. You actually do lose weight on the Atkins diet. You go into ketosis and lose lots of weight. Anyway, that's besides the point. Weston A. Price found that several cultures, for example, the Swiss, the Japanese, the Korean, they all had perfect teeth, and they all included this vitamin called vitamin K2. And the Swiss, it was from butter, grass-fed butter, which the reason it's in there is because there's K2 and there's vitamin K in grass. Bacteria in cows' stomachs ferment that grass and turn it into vitamin K2. Then it's processed by the liver of the cow into what's known as menaquinone 4, which is the best form of vitamin K2. The other cultures, the Korean and the Japanese, for example, the Japanese used it in natto. The Korean did it from kimchi. That's bacterially fermented vegetables that are rich in vitamin K, that after bacterial fermentation turn into vitamin K2. And so he wasn't advocating just eating butter or just eating meat as is sort of a perception. He was also advocating eating lots of fermented vegetables, which have the added benefit of probiotic bacteria in addition to vitamin K2. It's a very important thing, vitamin K2. It activates osteoclasts that bind minerals to bone. Actually, if you take vitamin K2 with your vitamins, your multivitamins, that will help retain a lot of those minerals, because those minerals will get bound to your bones and actually to different organs. For example, the pancreas. Your pancreas uses tons of zinc for trypsin production and other enzyme production, and that vitamin K2 is actually what holds it there. Now, these cultures that ate vitamin K2 all had perfect teeth, and they either got it from butter or from fermented vegetables. The Korean diet is very, very, you eat chestnuts for snacks, you eat bean paste, you eat fermented milk, or it's not even yogurt, it's literally just fermented milk. That's that's somehow not yet yogurt. It's not kefir either. The Japanese diet is very varied. The Swiss was very varied in the meats that they ate. They ate lots of organ meats in addition to, they didn't just eat muscle meat. You have to eat a varied diet. That's very important. The only guy I could say who came really close to writing a book, aside from Weston Price, of a diet that is viable, is Jordan Rubin. He wrote a book called The Maker's Diet. That book is probably the most accurate about the human condition in terms of our dietary needs, because we are omnivores. We're all omnivores. Blood type diet, it's a fad diet. Pretty much every diet is a fad diet. You know what the problem with the fad is? Your health. A fad is your health is not a fad. Your body's not a fad. Your body is built to be a certain way. Just because some fad randomly decided that, no, things should be this way, none of them are going to have complete information. For example, I forgot which diet it is, but you leave out all grains, legumes, beans, nuts, all because richest sources of all the minerals that you need, almost all of them, because they have phytic acid. The phytic acid content of those grains is about less than 1/5 of its binding capacity is less than 1/5 of the actual total minerals contained in those grains, and that's also assuming you're not sprouting and cooking them like these cultures did. There's other diets, obviously the vegetarian diet says leave out all meat. There's a raw food diet which says you should eat all foods raw. You should not eat all foods raw. You shouldn't eat soy raw. You shouldn't eat beans raw. You shouldn't eat meat. Raw meat is a controversial subject, but it is better for you in that the proteins and the amino acids are undenatured, but then you can get sick from salmonella or nausea. Like me, I can't eat. Fads are bad. I remember reading about the Cutler protocol for multiple sclerosis, and all they do is they have this mantra: vitamin D is a hormone, not a vitamin. It's a hormone, not a vitamin. Okay, what does that prove about its effect on multiple sclerosis? Vitamin D has been found to have a very positive effect on multiple sclerosis. And they go, it's a hormone, not a vitamin. It's a hormone, not a vitamin. And they believe that multiple sclerosis is actually caused by mycobacteria, and that vitamin D feeds those mycobacteria. That is complete and total bullcrap. I am sorry. There is not a doctor in the world who will advocate this theory. Just the entire idea that you need to avoid vitamin D because it's going to feed bacteria. So then stop eating. That's feeding the bacteria too. I mean, what are you talking about? Just shut up. Hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide does kill pathogens. That is true, and it also kills you. Probiotic bacteria produce hydrogen peroxide at specific sites to kill bacteria. They do it at the bacterium. They don't just randomly go, hydrogen peroxide everywhere. And they do a little bit with lactic acid, but it's not like it's not the same thing as drinking hydrogen peroxide. Your immune system targetedly uses hydrogen peroxide to kill pathogens, and that's only some of the stuff that they use. There's so many fads out there. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, don't follow fads, follow science, follow common sense, and don't follow bad science either. For example, people think that eating a diet full of carbs and leaving out good animal protein and things that your arteries are made out of is going to stop you from getting heart disease. That's absolutely ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Carbohydrates, especially refined carbohydrates, are what cause artery damage. In fact, this is what I'm going to make my next video about. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.